Welcome to the Start of a Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos. And this is the show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. This is part 3 of the review. So please feel free to start in part 1 if you haven't, and then go to listen to part 2. There's a lot of things that I talk on in that section that really gives you a good scope about this set and why I'm looking at the set the way I am. Okay, so there is that. The other thing I would definitely recommend you to go and listen to the other 2 sets is that it gives you a sense of, I hate to tell it, it's like the same vibe that I've had for past sets that I've sort of had this critique. They haven't been good sets in the long run. Okay? I'm not saying there aren't good figures, but they haven't been good sets in the long run. So there's that. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get started into this part of the show. So there's a couple of key things that I am looking at in the rares. I mean, that's rare. Sorry, the chases. Sorry, the chases section. The first is this worth it? And I'm sort of torn because there's a couple that I'm like, I don't know. And there's some that are like, well, here we go. You know, like let's go. And I think there's some potential there. Now, I am mildly frustrated because I feel like this could have been really good for the Masters of Evil to shine. But they did not take that opportunity, and it's sad. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, there's Namor. Why should I buy this Namor? Well, just for 75 points, 12 attack, and 4 damage is a reason. Like it's the same thing like when I was pointing out with Atlas. If I could get 12 attack and 7 damage for 50 points, I'm going to do it. If I can get 12 attack and 7 damage potentially with a character, I'm going to do it. Okay, so that right there is automatically worth it. Next up is Avenging Son of Atlantis. Namor starts the game with the flood marker in his square. The flood marker is water terrain. Smoke Cloud asks free, but only to generate water terrain markers instead of hindering terrain markers. Free. Place the flood marker in Namor's square. Friendly characters with the dolphin symbol, and because Namor has a dolphin symbol, or share a keyword with Namor, modify attack by +1 when making a close attack occupying water terrain. Whoop-de-freaking-do. This is awesome. And suck at the same time. Rejuvenated by the sea, toughness, regeneration, when, but only if Namor occupies water terrain. Well, hey, it's amazing. I have a trait that lets me make Smoke Cloud for free, but it's water terrain. Okay. And again, there's really no point to this flood token, in my opinion, but again, I might be missing something. Yeah, I don't get what the flood token is actually doing. Because it doesn't say you're doing anything else with the flood token and the rest of his powers. Or his traits. So I think they had something else that they were supposed to add on there that they just forgot. So At 50 points, Namor is broke strong. And some of you may ask, why is Namor broke strong? Okay, let's look at this. I'm giving you, for 50 points, an attacker that I'm more than likely paying 60 points for on average. Okay, in this set and past sets. Okay, then you have the fact that I can magically make water wherever the hell I want. And as long as you are friendly to me and share a keyword, sorry, you either have a dolphin or have the keyword that I have, you get +1 attack while you're in water terrain. Not for close attacks. Okay. So all I have to do is say, here's Colossal X. It shares a keyword with me through shenanigans and whatnot. All right, great. I'm going to go scuttle up around, put this square of water terrain down. And when you Colossal retaliate, you'll have +1 attack. And I also, too, have +1 attack. Hot dog. So when you're able to steroid yourself on top of everything else, like, yeah, in others, yeah, that is a strong figure. All right, next up is Thor. Yeah, this is, I understand why a lot of people are super hot for this Thor. And it has, and to me, insert D joke here. It's the length. It's the length of the dial. Like, look at this. Look at this. Okay, for 125 points, I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clicks. 9 clicks deep. Insert D joke here. Okay, 9 clicks deep. With prob on every one of my starting clicks. Okay, for 125 points, and I have a stop click. Like, what else is there to say? Like, just that alone is worth a chase. Now, also, all things considered, think back to AI Thor. He had the flurry and the range and all the other wonderful stuff. Okay? But his dial is not this long, and he's 100 points cheaper than the max dial. Okay? And his stats don't look anywhere close to this good. All right. So you start off at 125 with Invincible, Indom, 18 defense, 12 attack, Psychic Blast, 5 damage, prob, running shot, 7 range. And then you just meander down. Your attack stops at 10. Your defense goes as low as 17. Your damage goes all the way down to 3, but that's your last 2 clicks. Okay. You have Bring the Lightning. Thor has Protected Energy Explosion. That's one of the most dumbest protected things for you to have in this game. Definitely with all this damage reduction. Okay, that's dumb, but all right, we're being thematic. I hope that was really cheap. Yeah, Thor starts the game with the lightning marker attached. When Thor hits with an attack not using energy explosion, you may place the lightning marker in the square of a hit character. So he's only targeting one. If you do, after resolutions, make a ranged attack using energy explosion at no cost, targeting that character regardless of range or line of fire. Okay. At the beginning of your next turn, attach the lightning marker to Thor. Okay. So, yeah. All right, so the whole idea is you hit somebody, you may have knocked them back, they may be out of range, this, that, and the other. there can be complications. I get it. So you get to lightning strike them. So I have something real dumb, real dumb, candy cane levels of dumb. You know, Ren and Stimpy dumb. What happens when you give him the liar ring? Now I know some of you are going to say, Dark Logos, that's a complete waste of time. Why would I give him the liar ring? Well, my friend, let me explain. You give him the liar ring. He now has a 10 square range for mind control, plus his 5 movement for running shot. That's pretty far downfield he can reach. He's going to mind control, we'll just call it Target X. And then Target X is going to go off and do some damage. Okay? But Target X is going to do its darndest to be adjacent to a clump of guys or girls or next to all the colossal retaliators it can be next to. And you know what's going to happen? Energy explosion. That's what's going to happen. Because it says, when Thor hits with an attack not using energy explosion, doesn't stop you from doing anything else. Okay? So then, if I do, after resolutions, make a ranged attack using energy explosion at no cost, targeting that character regardless of line of fire. Or range or line of fire. So it can be way outside my range. It could be across the map. And then at the beginning of my next turn, attach the lightning marker to Thor. So I can do it again. So, I know some of you are like, yeah, but that's a lot to set up, Dark Logos. I mean, come on. I mean, think about it. You gotta mind control them, then to set up the energy explosion and all this other stuff. But if you really have to get her done and take out the retail, this is a legit way of doing it. And it gives you way more reach than what most people think, and gives you a way more creative use of Thor. Okay? So right there, it just strikes me. Also, yeah, mind control. Equip character's minimum range value when using mind control, outwit, or perplex is 10. Equipped character may be equipped with a second object if also a Mandarin ring. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden Thor has a 10 range? What the heck? I thought I was safe. You weren't safe. You weren't safe. Crackling with electricity. When Thor has the lightning marker attached, he can use energy shield, deflection, and poison. When Thor has the lightning marker attached, he has Mystic Steam ability, but only for close attacks. Yeah. This is dumb. So yeah, like that's $100 and something odd that someone's going to make constantly with that figure. Next up is Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is just straight gangster. He's straight gangster. The Avengers have a sweet new ride. Passengers, yeah, 3. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You need to get all those perplexes into place for, you know, your shield. Here you go. But only to carry characters who share a keyword regardless of flight. So I can carry flyers. I have access to Ram. And he modifies his speed value by +3 and does not take unavoidable damage from it. So he rams through, dealing damage to multiple characters and doesn't take damage from it. Yeah. There you go. There you go. No one was using Ram before. Last time we actually considered Ram was Warlock. And that was during the team base era. So that lets you know how long ago that was. Okay. Flaming Chains when Ghost Rider hits with an attack, which also is Ram. After resolution, yeah, Ram is an attack. After resolutions, you may give the flame marker to a hit character, removing it from any other character. Burn for your sins. When a character with the flame marker hits after resolutions, deal them 1 penetrating damage. When a character with the flame marker misses all attacks, remove it. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's $75. That's not $100. That's $75 right there. People going to demand 85. Don't pay it. It's $75. Doctor Strange. Summon everyone for the final battle, phasing teleport, but only if Doctor Strange isn't adjacent to an opposing character. Meh. When Doctor Strange uses it, you may generate a portal marker in the square he began or ended movement in, removing any other portal markers. Other friendly characters occupying or adjacent to it, to the square with the portal marker, can use phasing teleport and modify speed by +2. Now, the important part is the modify speed by +2, because you do not have to use phasing teleport to modify their speed by +2. There's enough nefarious things that you can do with that. Just take the time to think about it and look at your favorite hypersonic speed or charging figure, and there you go. But this is what's important. Allow me to assist you. Super senses defend, but when friendly characters replace their defense value, you may choose that replacement value to be 1 higher or 1 lower than his printed defense value. Now, so a lot of people might not catch how sly that is. But what it does is it raises the stat floor. It raises the stat ceiling for your defense, stat BS, to be astronomically higher than what it should be. So let's take the time to break it down. So Strange starts with an 18. You raise it to a 19. That means that your defense from range from ranged or any other effect that would modify defense by +3 would be 22. That is hard to deal with. Definitely if you're looking at guaranteeing to get your hindering terrain bonus and you have energy shield and it can't be taken away. There you go. That's a problem. Now, is Doctor Strange hyper meta good? No, because we have the female messiah herself, Captain Marvel, who can just zippity doo dah run through over and by Doctor Strange, put a force blast through the chest like she does so many other characters in the Marvel universe, and keep it rolling. Okay, so it's a non-issue when you start looking at the options overall. But if you do not have those options, and Strange is well fortified, that is a hard situation to deal with. Considering WizKids has done a good job thus far making a majority of our top tier defenses cap out around 20. Now, am I saying Strange is a very good piece? No. He's okay. Is he going to be worth the money that most people are going to spend on him? No, he's not. Is he going to be seen a lot in the metagame? Yet to be seen. Because if there's another character that gives out ESD like Candy, or combat reflexes like Candy, like everyone adjacent to me gets ESD, Strange becomes super valuable. He just does. Because he can be carried. He allows for a situation for people to increase their movement by 2. And he's increasing their defense artificially. So, yeah. Strange is meta-ish, maybe, depending on future outlooks and abuses. In Golden Age, Silver Age, he's definitely top tier. Top tier. If your venue is playing a lot of Silver Age and Golden Age, and you like turtling, Strange is top tier. Like, I can't ignore it. All right, next up, Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man is in that same situation I looked at Thor. I'm like, this is a go. This is a yes. This is what we needed. But you are slacking. You're slacking, WizKids. Like, this should have been a super rare, not a chase. But since he's here, let's talk about him. All right, free. Choose an adjacent square terrain type. And Absorbing Man can use the corresponding powers and abilities until you choose again. Use the wall marker as a reminder by positioning it on the chosen terrain type. Okay, so I guess that's what the FX is for. All right, obscuring terrain. That's not universal. So that sort of sucks for you as a player. You have to consider that in map selection. So that sucks. But at the same time, it is an option. So, man, okay. Super senses, what is it? Improved movement, ignores elevation and blocking. Super senses and modify speed by +2. This is pretty nice. This is pretty nice. Hindering terrain, stealth, regeneration, modify attack by +2. Ooh, full dial regen. Ooh. That's good. That's real good. Blocking terrain. Improvement destroys blocking. Super strength. Close combat expert. And modify defense by +2. Defense by +2. I'm not too much of a fan. Not too much of a fan. But super strength, close combat expert. I don't know. Water terrain. You get improved movement, water terrain. Poison. Shape change. And modify damage by +2. Ooh. All right. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to mean it with all of my heart. With the way that he is set up, you want to give him exospecs, and I know a lot of people want to say, duh, give him exospecs. But hear me out. You want to give him exospecs, and you want to either have water terrain or obscuring terrain. Hindering terrain is always going to be abundant, but in particular, when you're choosing map or having effects that you're utilizing, those are the two that I would be really, 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 really keen on. Here's why. Okay, first off, with specs, with obscuring terrain, if I have improved movement, ignores blocking, not destroys blocking, like I just moved through, being able to charge Quake and with a charge of 6, because again, you would replace the modify, or even hypersonic speeding with a speed of 10 with exospecs is far more stupid. Because now I'm going up and down elevated terrain with no problem. I am going in through blocking terrain with no problem, tagging people, and doing what I do. Okay. So that to me is more encouraging. Also, if you don't want to play that style, you can easily just add on what ring is it? Remaker. Add a remaker, you have shape change. Poison and shape change. Yeah, you have poison and shape change. So you don't even have to worry about water terrain. Okay? But yeah, poison, you don't even have to worry about water terrain. Now you go again, if you're going with the water terrain, okay, great. You're taking more serious my idea of like, hey, look, exospecs is probably a good idea, yo. Like, it really is. So then when you look at hindering terrain as a bonus, it's not bad when we consider a couple of things. One, we have stealth, and two, we have regen. Hindering terrain is really abundant, like stupid level abundant in most maps. So getting hindering terrain bonus, getting a hindering terrain bonus, and then healing up is nice. If you're dealing with a lot of high defenses, having a 13 or a 12 attack is going to be really nice. Now, some people would say, look, Dark Logos, I would rather be able to regen up, or I would rather be able to steal energy up. Depending on your situation, you might say, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do this tactic or the other tactic. Now, as a ID battery, does he do a lot? No. He doesn't realistically always help whoever you call in, unless that character is a melee flyer that can pick him up, and then when they're doing their attacks, place him, adjacent so that they can get +1 more damage. Even though he's getting everything dirt cheap, I don't like the Empower, because I don't feel like it really works with the character for what we have. But at the other end, if you're trying to fill out the Wrecking Crew a bit better, yeah, this is good. Overall, this is a 9 out of 10 piece. I don't think anybody's hardly going to play it outside of sealed. I don't think it's going to take off. I don't think it's going to be popular. But it has a lot of utility, and it has a lot of strong uses for people to just grab onto. There's a lot of adaptability in this Absorbing Man that we did not see in any past Absorbing Man. And a lot of people are going to sleep on it. So you probably could pick him up for maybe 50 to 60 the first week. After that, maybe you can get him as low as 45. I don't see him dipping below 45. But also, like, going back to what I can clearly see, they're either designing WWE around the same time as this set, or they're starting to think about WWE, because I can see a lot of WWE and literally classic heroclix design in this figure, like real old school heroclix design in this figure. Here's Invincible. You get several clicks of invulnerability. You get several clicks of consecutive toughness. Here's a whole stack of mediocre stats and steal energy, but it's just constant. So, yeah, I mean, the ability to just say, like, hey, man, exospecs. Now I have hypersonic speed. Now I have charge. Now I have flurry. Okay, I'm nowhere close to being nearing hindering terrain, so it's worth it. So I can't use stealth right now. But I'm going to use running shot because I can. I'm going to use plasticity because I can. All right, cool. I still want my water terrain bonus, so I'm going to pick stealth, and I'm sitting on top of this hindering terrain. there are so many things that I can see that benefits Absorbing Man. My only sad part is I really do wish that obscuring terrain was on more maps. It's just not, and that causes problems. All right, so let me lean back in into the mic. All right, let's talk about Big Daddy Ultron. I know for a lot of people, they're probably like, this one and Immortal Hulk were ones that you're like, you need to talk about this, Dark Logos. So I'm going to talk about this. Ultron is in sealed not as good if you're playing him at 150, and in constructed stealth good. And I know when the moment I said that, half of y'all were like, what are you going at? All right. So it's going to require a little finagling, but it requires you to piece together several characters that we already have, that we've already looked at. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, hey, talk about the figure first, then the tactic. But because I rabbit trail myself, I need to do this while I still remember. Okay, so let's first go back, look at Moonstone. Mind control, but only to target friendly characters of 100 points or less with the Thunderbolts keyword that aren't named Baron Zemo. All right, so keep that in your pocket. Okay, Zemo, Baron Zemo. All right, so go to Baron Zemo. During game setup, when establishing theme teams, you may treat Masters of Evil and Thunderbolts as a single name keyword. Dang it. Hold up, wait. Is that it? No. Crap. Let's see. There's an only uses it. See characters. Can you... Oh, crap. I thought there was something that was giving Masters of Evil's Thunderbolts. Okay, so taking some time, actually look at it. I'm thinking of a Golden Age Baron Zemo. So take away all my previous thought process, because my main thought was, hey, look, you could have Moonstone mind control Ultron, because Ultron is a Thunderbolt. But unfortunately, unless there's something on her power that allows you to mind control Masters of Evil, yeah, that unfortunately is a no-go. So let's just go back and look at the viability of Ultron and what that means for the character and what that means for actually building a team for Constructed. So first off, power-wise, we got the running shot. At 150, we have running shot. We have 14 attack, which everybody's like, oh my gosh, 14 attack. Yeah. 18 defense and 4 damage. Not bad. Not bad at all. You have the energy explosion, which could be devastating. It could be real devastating. And then you have the outwit, which is sort of, it's useful. Then you have, sidestep, then psychic blast, then impervious, the 3 damage, and a bunch of other cool stuff. Then you get your first stop click. Now, we go back to sort of some of the things I said about viability with Captain Marvel. Why is this character useful? Because you're investing a lot of points, but you're also getting a lot of stop clicks, guaranteeing that you're going to get value out of those points. Now, with the Masters of Evil team ability, is that going to help you more? Yes and no. But what is the advantage that Ultron has over Captain Marvel? Ultron can regen. And that is the kicker. Ultron can regen. So, when we were looking at it, Ultron's overall stats at 150, going down, looking at a whole dial, is close to being worth it, in my opinion. I know some people are like, what? But close to being worth it at 150. But then you have Encephalo Ray. When Ultron hits with a range attack after resolution, you may give the Encephalo Ray marker max 1 to a hit target without a marker of that name. At the beginning of your turn, choose one to affect the character with the Encephalo Ray marker. That character has immobile until your next turn, or Ultron can use mind control as range at no cost, but only to target characters regardless of range or line of fire. So again, we have regardless of that range and line of fire thing. And at the end of your turn, if your character began the turn with Encephalo Ray marker, both players roll a d6. If your result is lower, remove the marker. All right. So you're able to functionally keep someone on tabs for mind control if you want, and as a free action to sort of help you with your damage output. At 150, building a team around them for keywords, even if it's robot, I don't think it's fully as worth it. It's nice. It's nice. Once you hit 100, that's when Bastion comes in. And what I wanted to do for cheaper with Moonstone, I'm going to have to pay more points and do with Bastion. And so in playing a robot theme team, Bastion is really good. Because now, at 100 points and at 50 points, I have something that is a lot more stout, that Bastion can mind control around. That's number one. Number two, I have something that already has problems moving around, and I'm solving that problem. Okay? So there's that. And most importantly, I don't have to invest in exospecs if I don't want to. I can invest in, Remaker, Nightbringer. I can invest in a lot of other things, so I don't have to be offensively focused. I can focus on other elements. All right, so that is another advantage that pairing up with Bastion gives this combo. Because even if I go all the way down to, let's just say 50 points, and I mind control Ultron to go out there, still at 50 points, and I don't think he's unique, so I get 2 Ultrons. I mind control 2 Ultrons to move out 4, and then take a shot. That's not bad. That's realistically not bad. And even more in the levels of stupidity, I can have Bastion running shot, carrying an Ultron, to then mind control it, which is 100% legal, and then it can move out. Move and then make an attack. So there you go. And there's still nothing stopping it from using its other game effects. Now, I think overall, you're looking at Ultron just because of his 14 starring attack. He's going to be like 150. Some people might even ask $200 for him. Is he worth that much? No. Ultron at max is probably worth 115, 125. He's probably worth the same amount as a Mjolnir and a Thor and Mjolnir. That's about it. If anybody wants more than that, I would just tell him to go suck it and wait. It's he's not that good. He's good, but he's not that good. Also, other key things is like with a robot keyword, you and masters, like there's just so much stuff that you can do with this Ultron as like your main guy. Him or him or Absorbing Man. Like those two as your main guys, it's a lot of fun. I just see the fun and I'm just like, come on. This fun should have been packed in at lower rarity, not this higher rarity, which is WizKid's main problem. Majority of the games are just higher rarity stuff because that's where the fun's at. Give me some freaking fun that's not on an ID card at lower rarities, WizKids. Give me stuff that makes me fuel my team. Make my opponents some level of afraid of what I can do at lower rarity. You know, my commons and uncommons. All right. So there we go. Then we have the Ultra Chase. Peggy Carter. Living Legend trait, great. When Steve fell, I had to step up. Sideline active when a friendly character named Captain America or Steve Rogers of 50 points or more is KO'd by an opposing attack. You may place Peggy Carter from your sideline into that square on her blue starting line. So you're getting her at 50 points. Then deal her damage equal to the final amount of damage taken by that character minus the damage he was clicked. So, okay, so it's like, oh, it was just enough. All right, guess what? It's okay. Peggy's going to come in great. Oh, well, I was on my last click and I was dealt 5 damage. Well, Peggy, good thing we have Living Legend because otherwise you too would have been KO'd. All right. Yeah, so Becky Barnes. Becky Barnes, in my opinion, is a very, 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 very good double dip if you decide to go off theme and play Jason Wingard in a Captain America and having Peggy on the side, because Jason can generate a Becky Barnes and it's Jason doing it. And when it says when Peggy Carter starts the game, generate a Becky Barnes bystander. Yeah. So there's that. And then on the other end, when Peggy comes in, she also can generate Becky Barnes from the sideline. So I think there's something to exploit there. So overall, I think that's a real positive lean. Then you go into the Fast Forces. I think this is just good stuff, fun stuff overall. Isaiah Bradley, 25 points with Living Legend and Colossal Stamina and a dump. Yep, there you go. You get a vote for playability right there. Citizen V, Living Legend, Charge, Sidestep, Flight Passenger Zero. That could be fun. That could be fun. Winter Soldier, Avengers, Invader, Shield, Thunderbolt, Soldier, Spy. I think this is the mind control subject that Moonstone has been looking for, with the 17 defense, in stealth and running shot and all the other jazz, plus Avengers Assembled. Yeah, this is, maybe not the Avengers Assembled thing so much, but reposition after the shot when Winter Soldier makes a ranged attack after resolution, move him up 3 squares. So functionally, you mind control him. He moves, makes an attack, trait triggers, moves 3 squares. Then he can normally make an attack. He can choose to running shot or range combat expert or whatever else, and then move 3 more squares. So yeah, like Winter Soldier is good top tier meta at 75 and at 50. He has enough flexibility between the three major keywords of the set: Avengers, Shield, and Thunderbolt. So yeah, I think there's something there. Captain America, 75 points. Steve Rogers. Starting off with the running shot and 5 range just sort of suck, but Living Legend, okay. Follow up when Captain America hits with a range attack after resolution. You may place Captain America adjacent to the hit character and then make a close attack. That is actually pretty decent. That has potential. Will people play it? No. They would play it if he was probably 65 points, sad to say. Even though the Living Legend potentially does make him a little bit more stout, I still would rather actually, get back up there. Anyway, Iron Man. Assembled Avenger, yay. Avengers team player, defend in invulnerability. Not really good plays here. Then he has a special power here to help with everything Stark Industries has. And power enhancement prob. Good at 50. Good at 50. Not good at 75. Unless you're going to be like, he TKs, he defends, he probs. And he calls in IDs. That's the only thing that he's really good for. He's not a good attacker. Now, if he said, hey man, I do all this and I have 11 attack, I would actually have a means of reconsidering what his value. Hawkeye. Fast Forces Hawkeye. Running shot, 12 attack, 17 willpower, 2 targets instead of the 3 that he has on his other version. Now he's a Thunderbolt and an Avenger. He has the Assembled Avengers trait. And he also has Because Boomerang. Because once per turn, when Hawkeye misses with a ranged attack, targeting a single opposing character, and this is what sucks. After resolution, he may make a ranged attack against the same target, modifying an attack by +1. So he can be a 13, a 12, or an 11 with this power. Is this bad? Completely no. Is it great? Overall, it's sort of a ghetto prob. Okay, and it gives you a stat bump. Okay. Did I really need that? No. Okay, so having improved targeting or it's hindering, that is useful. Is this guy useful at 50 points? Sorta. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Then we have the LE Baron Zemo. And 75 points. He has destroying the Avengers is only the first step. Leadership, when Baron Zemo uses it and succeeds until your next turn, friendly characters with the Masters of Evil keyword have improved movement, destroys blocking. This is huge. This is huge. And all team abilities opposing characters can use that aren't uncopyable. What? Okay, all right. So you can use that plus, yeah, so if you have 3 or 4 team abilities, that's pretty strong. Assembled bolts and masters, we already know what that does. Then he has combat reflexes, mastermind, willpower, and a special power. That's pretty good. So overall, like in the pack, we see the Pogs and all this other stuff that we can get. So let me go into my thoughts on the set and how I'm feeling. Overall, I think that this is a set that people are going to invest in. They're not going to invest heavy. There's going to be some things that are like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's not good. Blah, 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 blah. And what's going to end up happening, we're going to have a temporary WKO meta, and it's going to settle in, just like what happened during States. And then immediately the next set, we're going to be like, well, all this is done. Or it can be at best like EarthX, where we're like, yeah, these few figures, we can see that this is good. We're going to keep these around. The rest of this, we can sort of do without. I give WizKids the benefit of the doubt in trying, really trying to make Masters of Evil good. They tried. They sort of failed, but they tried. They needed that ability, realistically, to give them all like one or the other keyword. All Masters of Evil have the Thunderbolts keyword. All Thunderbolts have the Masters of Evil keyword. They just needed to do that. And the main reason that needs to be in place, not just for force construction. And no, I'm not just butthurt about not being able to mind control everybody I want with Moonstone. It comes down to you have too many effects that are keyword dependent, and not having both keywords hurts synergy in the long run. It just does, and we know it. So why don't you just give them both keywords, or have somebody that allows them to have both keywords? Okay. And I know there are some masters that also have masters plus Thunderbolts. I get it. I understand that. But realistically, that's one thing that holds this set back from actually threatening Avengers, which Avengers needs right now. Okay? The other thing that kicks in for me is you have freaking rare Cap allows you to bring anybody into the Avengers. Why don't you have a Masters of Evil counterpart? Even if the Masters of Evil counterpart was let's just say a 50-point character or something, or a 60-point character, and it said, guess what? If you're 100 points or more, 100 points to 150 points, you can become a Masters of Evil. Or even if you said 50 points or less, you become a Masters of Evil. That would have been fine. That would have been fine. And there are enough characters that you could put on the team that the Masters of Evil could actually freaking use. Key element there. That would actually make them, threatening to the Avengers teams. Okay? So even if you said, like, look, man, we also get Vulture. Great. Now, Vulture, who's a villain, can play with villains. He didn't get mind control by Tony Stark to become an Avenger. He's up there, Vulture's like, nah, man, we're going to destroy the world. Okay, and real briefly, there's some characters, and I'm just going to go through real quick and point them out that would really have benefited Masters of Evil. Okay, so let's just start all the way, near the top. Okay, let's start at the tippity top with it. Okay, first things first. I can now incorporate the Thomas the Train trick with Star Trek, with a Commander Riker, William T. Riker. Okay, so I can institute the Thomas the Train trick. Boom. That's creative, because there's tons of things that I can do with that now. All right. Next up, I can use Ferengi Salvage Crew. According to Ferengi rules of acquisition, we declare this ship to be a loss. During the game setup, you may choose one. Place one of your opponent's objects or generate a standard light object in any square on the map, not in your starting area. Hell, congratulations. I have a pirate on my villain team, and he's going to jack your stuff. Okay? Let's look at, we got all this pushing. Oh, 35-point Beverly Crusher. Is she Mirrorverse Crusher? Maybe. Leadership support. When Dr. Beverly Crusher or an adjacent friendly character uses support, apply a -1 instead of -2 to the result. So I'm healing up my masters way better. Way better. Okay. Let's see. Moriarty. You could put Moriarty on there. We already talked about Riker. I can put a Starfleet ensign on there. I could put Nurse Agawa on there. Wesley Crusher. Either of the Wesley Crushers on there. I can put Q on my freaking team. Bebop and Rocksteady. They can be on my villain team. Let's keep going. Oh, Nurse Chapel. She can be on my team. Lieutenant Kyle can be on my team. McCoy can be on my team. Trelane can be on my team. Let's see. Let's keep going. Isaac can be on my team. Tri-Sentinel can be on my team. Oh, no, standard characters, so no Tri-Sentinel. And no Q. Sorry, I take that. They're not standard characters. I'm looking and looking and looking. And it's just like, wow, there's just so many characters that I could put with the Masters of Evil, and they would be great. Oh, Danger Room freaking Magneto. That Fabian Cortez. Danger Room Sabretooth. Danger Room Mr. Sinister. Harry Leland. This is a missed opportunity, and it's a very huge missed opportunity. Now, if you come back and say to me like, oh, 6 months down the line, there's a character that they made, and it's prize support, whoever the hell it is, and it makes the Masters of Evil and the Thunderbolts have both keywords. Fine. Or you have someone that's allow me to, induct you into the Thunderbolts. Or induct you into the Masters of Evil. Fine. It's fine. But the fact that you thought about that with Cap, and you did not think about that for Masters of Evil or Thunderbolts, really, really, really shows me how short-sighted things are. Because you could have taken that 45-point super rare Baron Zemo, scrapped all the crap off of him, and just said, welcome to the Masters of Evil. He didn't even need bolts and masters. He just need to have welcome to the Masters of Evil. 45 points. To be able to get that at 45 freaking points. And he says, Cap, I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. I got leadership, outwit, and I'm bringing people to my team. But nah, they couldn't do that. Because that requires the thinkings. So, when I look at the dials, I'm frustrated. Because the dials are short. We're back at this 6 clicks of health crap. When we've already established that this 6 clicks of health crap isn't going to go over well. All right, and I'm paying high points for it, and this makes me have that rebirth vibe again, because when we scroll on over to that dusty old tune called Rebirth, and you start clicking, guys. Oh, Deathstroke, 6 clicks, 100 points. Ooh, Jericho, oh, 5 clicks, 60 points. At the time, you're like, yes, whiz kids, you're getting your stuff together. You're calming things the hell down. We're going to get a little bit more balanced game, a lot more cheaper guys, and we're going to be able to do stuff. And then you're just like, ABPI, steps into the club. And you just look at it, and you're just like, Why did I buy this junk? Why? Why? And even if you said, oh, Prez Ricard, he's actually something that a lot of teams needed. But then you just said every team is going to get a cheap leadership guy. So now Prez Ricard is sort of like, well, I play him if certain situations come up, if-ish, and I still want to have a generic theme that didn't also have some sort of cheap leadership guy, which almost every team does now have. Oh, yeah. It's not that hot anymore. Okay? And, Power Girl. Oh, look, Edward, there's Power Girl. She's 7 clicks and 115 points of crap. Okay? Like, look at it's just giving me the same freaking vibe. Okay? And that's the problem. Were there good, fun stuff in Rebirth that's sort of broken? Yeah, remember Billy Batson. Enough said with that after that. Remember Billy Batson. Like, the 20-point perplex, 40 points I can turn into Shazam. Just remember Billy Batson. That's all you have to do. Billy Batson, in all honesty, was the beta test for Living Legend. There you go. So yeah. Tempest. We see this with Namor. Yeah, it just feels like this is a beta test. Yeah, Rebirth was a beta test for Cap and the Avengers, but also just a lot of mechanics that we're seeing. And even with the chases, I'm like, yeah, or in the super rares, I'm like, yeah, this feels exactly like this set is a beta test set. Same thing with Cap. This is a beta test, seeing if our theory from Rebirth still holds true. We make things a little slightly cheaper and a little bit more effective. Let's see if the players will play with the stuff now. And the answer is we're not, because everything that you're giving us that's of value is still in the super rare and in the rare in the chase slot. And because primarily a majority of our core elements are in those slots, we're only playing with super rares and chases. Even if you wanted to say, oh, look, Dark Logos, I have this Colossal that I got from Dark Phoenix Saga, or I got this Colossal that I got from AI, or Thor, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Because their rarity, no matter what they say, is more skewed up due to the pure fact, that when you get a hold of them, they don't start at common, number one. Number two, there's so many of them, the chance of you getting that specific one in a booster versus a bunch of commons in a booster automatically inflates their rarity and chance. So even if I said, my good friend Lucas, I keep messing up his freaking middle name right now. Lucas Tom Van Hollen, okay, he has like a bazillion giant girls. I would argue that even though those giant girls are uncommon, they're in rarity, in rare type rarity of acquisition. Because you only can get one per booster. And if you get another rare, you're also sharing that rare slot with 4 or 5 other Colossals in that slot. Whereas in a booster, look, I buy 2 boosters real quick. It might be really easy for me to get this uncommon, this other uncommon, and then just stack them up real fast. And just because the volume of uncommons, I get to roll for multiple uncommons in a roll, in one booster. And I only can roll for one uncommon Colossal in a booster. So the chances of me being able to get that uncommon Colossal is a lot harder. So again, is WizKids moving the game in a positive direction? No. Even though there's things I'm like, yeah, this could be potentially good. This can be potentially good. I like this. This is fun. But the majority of the fun is in the higher rarities. And that shouldn't be the case. And I'm making this, I want to make this clear. Am I arguing that super rares and chases should suck? No. But when you set that taste level at ABPI, where I can look through 90% of that set and be like, I could play this. You know, like joking around, having fun. I could play this. Hell, even Champion. You know, we were talking about possibly playing Champion for WKOs, you know, between, you know, throwing out ideas. And for a good moment, we sat there and thought about it. You know, like, there's still stuff. There's still stuff from ABPI. Like I can go, and I know this is, I'm already ranting and raving, so I might as well keep going. Okay. Aim blue, useful. Aim white, red, aim red, white, and blue, still useful. Okay. Black Bolt. If you really wanted to play him, you could. He still could be useful. You got to tweak him really hard, but you could play him. That Captain America, 95 points. You could play him. Enchantress. She's not Gimp. She's okay. You can play her. Astronomer. We saw so many people play him. And he's a rare. Okay. Gardener. Made Worlds. Trader. Made Worlds. Okay. WizKids, you can do it. You can do it. Aim Blue. Probably Made Worlds somewhere. Black Prime, Black Panther. Been thinking about him since I saw him. And I figured in him in the Liar Ring. Everett K. Ross. Made Worlds. At least I saw it. Yeah, I saw it a couple times. Even Captain Marvel, even though folks say it's a trap, the low point one, still is useful. Crystal. Pauper Queen. Medusa. Pauper Queen. Voyager. Pauper Queen. Aim Red. Pauper King. You saw him. There were uses of him. People liked him. And you get, again, there's this taste in my mouth of all that wonderful flavor from ABPI. And then you come back with this weak sauce. I'm sorry. It's not enticing. Even with Dark Phoenix, I get the argument with Dark Phoenix Saga. Look, the value is in the Colossals. I get that. I really get that. And that was frustrating a little bit too. And there was a good chunk of those guys that did suck balls too. And I'll be honest. But even more so, I was more excited about Dark Phoenix than I am this. And if I could choose as a customer to buy more Dark Phoenix or buy this, I'm probably going to buy more Dark Phoenix if I had access to more Dark Phoenix. But again, was the taste step off huge from ABPI to Dark Phoenix? No, it wasn't. And we even had Trek in between. And I even got mildly excited for Trek, even though that step off was a little bit there. And then you sort of rose up back to Dark Phoenix. Okay, but it wasn't quite ABPI. If you're going to say, this is our core, let's go set, and it's once per year, understand everything else in that year needs to be supplementary towards the themes and ideas that you are having in that set. And let us know. This is the big, badass set. Let us know. Print an extra amount of that set so we can buy that set. And then try to make an equivalent for DC. Or like some of my homies have said, just give all your DC characters double the keywords. Give them more generic keywords so they're actually useful. And then everything is keying off of that. Your main ideas, your main themes. Then later on, your additional sets are either enforcing those themes or creating counter themes and counter positions and stuff like that. Get in the freaking game. Get in the game. Because right now, y'all aren't in the game. And that's frustrating to me. That's really frustrating to me. Because I can say this is fun, this other thing, this is fun. But the only thing I know in the end is half this stuff I'll bring to my casual venue and play it there. After I'm, done playing Sentinels. Which I'm having 99% times more fun than I am with some of this other stuff that's presented. I want to play Shifting Focus Iron Man, but it's not as fun as Sentinels. It's not as fun as playing a bunch of Colossals. It's not as fun as most of ABPI. Shield. Shield is there's some popping stuff with Shield. What can I do with that? Oh, there's no really rallying force with Shield to make me move all these little guys around. Okay. There's not. And you could have thought about that. Okay. You got Maria Hill, but she's sort of like not that good. Okay. Quake is fun. Industrial Spy is sort of fun. Power Man is jank. No one's playing that. Okay. You keep looking through. Oh, Singularity. She sucks. We know that. Sidewinder. Okay. All right. Maybe play that with the Serpent Society. If I really get, really bit by inspiration. Pun intended. Okay. Oh, here's Captain America. He's 85 points. Oh, he's a living legend. Oh my gosh. Let's go Avengers. Tally ho. But no, he's still not that great. Then you got the captain, and you just keep looking and looking and looking. You're like, oh gosh, I wish you were better. I wish you were better. Oh, here's Dario Agger. Okay. Oh, okay. I have hope for you. I have hope for you. And you keep looking and looking and looking and looking. And you're just like, oh, this is crap. 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 Then, Trick Shot. Oh, okay. Hey, you're good, buddy. There you go. Then crap with Zeke. And then Wasp, you cry because she has Wakanda inside. Jolt, you're like, maybe. Prime Jolt, maybe. Oh, Pepper Potts here. That's sort of good. Victor Mancha, maybe. I don't know. Skin, maybe. And you just keep this cycle up. This is crap. This is crap. I don't know. Maybe I'll play that. That's sort of good. That doesn't make me feel completely horrible, like I wasted my money. So I'm scratching my head. I have a mild fever and headache. I've worked myself up that much. And I know some of you be like, yo, man, it's too serious. Don't have a heart attack over this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going to grab a little stress ball. Give it a couple of puffs. A couple of squeezes. And overall, I'm going to be honest. This is a single set. Like, buy in bulk at your own risk. Play your pre-releases. Support your venues. Have fun. Buy in bulk at your own risk. I feel it's a trap. It's a trap. Because if they really wanted to, as a team, they could have made the Masters of Evil competitive. They could have made the Masters of the Evil the anti-Avengers. They could have done a lot in terms of design to say, like, look, here's a 300-point Masters of Evil team. And this one plays this way, this one plays that way. There's another one that plays this way. And these variables, these are our key figures. Our key figures are at this rarity number 1, rarity number 2, rarity number 3, rarity number 4. And these are the offshoots in which you can play. And you want to know why I know WizKids can think like that? Because you do it for Avengers. Okay, you can make the argument, oh, Dark Logos, there's like a bazillion Avengers. That's not fair. You can do it for X-Men. You'd be like, oh no, Dark Logos, those were sets that were specifically designed for X-Men. And you did it for freaking Sentinels. You did it for Sentinels. And I talked about it on this show. Okay, you can go the Bastion route. You can go the Stealth Sentinel route. You can try to mix Stealth Sentinel and Bastion. You can go Stealth Sentinel and 2 Cyclops Sentinels if you really wanted to. And you can go with Trasks, without Trasks. You can have 3 Trask and Bastion and a bunch of Friends of Humanity and just send down the waves of stuff. Like, there are so many things that you can do in which the numbers were set up to provide you veritable options. Did you want to have more humans? Here's Creed. Did you want to get, some Perplex in? Here's Kelly. Like, you can go and mix max. Even though Trask is the bombest dude, you don't just have to play Trask if you don't want to. Oh, you having trouble fitting theme because you got a bunch of freaking giant robots? Oh man, here's Friends of Humanity. Do you want this one guy that has like freaking mirror reflect bull crap going on? Here's Nimrod. There is so many options with Sentinels. I can play it however the hell I want. I can't do that with Masters of Evil. Hell, I can't do that with Wakanda. I can't do that with the majority of the themes that you are presenting because you didn't try. You didn't try. And you want me to buy this blind. No. That's bad. That's bad. From an overall cohesive way, that's bad. And you didn't have the guts to come back and say, look, we at least tried to make 5 to 6 different teams in 300. This is how they would work. And we paired them up against some of the other archetypes and styles of play. And we said, you know what? Let's try to see how this works. Let's try to see how this works against other elements that we've instituted in the game. How are they playing against X-Men? How are they playing against Avengers? How is this playing against Justice League? All these other things. These are things that you need to get feedback from your play testers, WizKids. Like, ask them, okay, build, when you play test this figure, put this on theme, put on non-generic theme, put it on generic theme, play it on a non-theme team, and run each of these characters through those 3 paces, and then try to pick thematic matchups where you feel like these characters should be fighting these other characters. What should this character have to allow them to combat? Not counter, but combat those characters. Like, if you look at Black Knight, you're like, oh, you came so close. Like, this is what you need to start having. You look at Melter. You're like, oh, you are so close. You need to tweak these ranges. You need to tweak this damage. You need to tweak this stuff. And it's good then. Even if I'm looking at Jane Foster Thor, and I'm like, yeah, she's great-ish. There's so much more that you could have done if you got more creative. And I understand you got like 3 or 4 guys constantly doing this day in, day out, and it's frustrating. I fully understand. I fully understand. Eventually it all bleeds together. But I just feel like so much of this is wasted. You're trying to move us towards playing teams, which is what the game needs to move towards. But at the same time, you're not giving the freaking weapons for us to do that. You want us to consider Thunderbolts. What is the theme of Thunderbolts? You want us to consider Masters of Evil. What's the theme of Masters of Evil? You want us to play Wakanda. Okay, is the theme of Wakanda working? To hell no, it's not. Okay, what can we do to sort of change things, or at least give them more survivability? If we're really going to double down on that theme, what do we need to do to make them come onto the other side of the map and not just send freaking pogs down? What? Hell, if you gave me, for Wakanda, You gave me a unique figure, and it was called Spike Trap. Sort of going off of that Black Panther animated short that they did years and years and years ago. That was a bit racist on all fronts. But it's like, hey, you stepped foot on Wakanda. You made a mistake, number one. Every time you move on, and you're not on, our half of the map, roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or 6 for every character that was moved or placed, before any other actions happen, take 1 unavoidable damage. Or on a 6, take 1 unavoidable damage. Shouldn't have played Wakanda. You got it. And let's just say it's like, to cheesy, the first the first Black Panther. And he's 2 clicks. And he's 40 points. And his ability only works on a Wakanda theme team. So it's not like everywhere. And he's unique. I play him and make my freaking Wakanda teams worth playing. Now my opponent doesn't suffer that effect when they're on my side of the map, and I have all my plus stats. Let's go. Now I have something. But when my opponent can see through stealth and nuke me from halfway across the map, that's not a fight. That's a slaughter. I don't get my stats, which I invested all my points into, and I paid a premium for. So again, this comes back to my frustration with WizKids about game design. The game design elements are falling off. And you're not taking into account problems that have been here for years in the game. And failing to account for all of that, you're going to sell us this and not be honest with us. And not do a good job of making them, like, if this is a supplementary set, fine, this is a supplementary set. Don't soft shoe us. Like, make sure that these elements are tight. You want to give me an excuse to come back to the set and be like, you know what, I'm considering running Avengers. This symbol Avengers trait really works well with these new Avengers. Yeah, that Thor, Jane Foster, looks a lot better now because I have this character and this other character from the summer set. Like, oh, assembled Avengers is really good because this other Avenger that I paid, 120 points for says whenever a token would be placed on an opposing character, remove a token from him, or whenever he removes a token from him, he puts a token on an opposing figure. Something to do with taking action tokens off, or putting tokens on opposing figures. All of a sudden, Assembled Avengers is really good. Like I even said, like, you can tell there's points where you cared because I look at Hawkeye. Assembled Avengers plus multi-target plus NCAP. That's a lockdown. That is a straight up gangster lockdown. That is good. And you're worth getting praise for it. Why isn't the rest of the set like that? Why isn't the rest of the set with much care and thought and creativity as Trick Shot? Why not? Why do I have to have all this suck in here? So anyway, that's it for the series. It's super long. You endured all 4.5+ hours. Congrats to you. You were owed a cookie by someone. Maybe yourself. Maybe you went out and got a cookie. Took some breaks. Probably got the squeeze ball yourself. Getting that in. Yeah. So it's just frustrating. Like, I come back one last time. I look at ABPI, and I look specifically at Voyager Medusa Crystal, it's 100% clear that they're designed to work together. Crystal picks up Medusa. Voyager picks up Crystal. Voyager picks up Medusa, moves out, drops them down. They free attack. It's that obvious. Oh, I need a TK. This also works with this other path, with the Hulk. Oh, here is Hulk. Here I have, what is it? The aim red or aim white. I have aim white. I'm going to perplex up Hulk's attack. Hulk hadn't been hit. There's no negative modifiers. Make sure that my object is right here. TK through the wall. Do the charge. Hit. Bam. Like, it's clear. Like, oh, these pieces work together. These pieces have some synergy. Okay, if I don't have a Voyager, which is really hard because she's common, I can go and look at the set and I can say like, all right, well, Edward, what other Avengers were in the set that I can build off of? And then I sort of look at my pack and I'm like, oh, well, hey, I have Iron Man. He flies, so he can carry my Medusa. And I can still do this similar trick where she pops down the pog. Okay, oh, that's great. Well, Crystal flies. Well, she can carry Hulk. And so this works. I can do it like that. All right, well, I pulled Yellow Jacket. That's a little frustrating, but I have leadership, so I have more actions. I also have Outwit or Perplex, and I can use the power until my next turn, so that's sort of supplementary because, you know, I didn't pull Aim White. Oh, here's Prime Black Panther. He can work with Yellow Jacket. Now I have a Perplex up, you know, to help him charge. Oh, wow, I have 2 Perplexes now because I have a Perplex and Prop. Oh, I have Standard Panther. Oh, he can work with one of these gems. Oh, I have a gem. I pay 5 points for him. I think I'm going to like that. All right, here is Enigma. Enigma, I think, works with Rescue. So they have synergy built together automatically. All right, I pull Prime Falcon. And then it's he's going to generate a red ring bystander. And the red ring is autonomous. And then I get, if there's a friendly character named Captain America on this map, Falcon is also autonomous. Oh, wow, I pulled Falcon. So I pulled Captain America. So now Captain America can be carried by Falcon, and it's autonomous. And then I can drop. I also have Red Wing, and so Red Wing is also autonomous. So I'm super action conscientious. I also have leadership, so I have the ability to take tokens off of Falcon as well. Oh, wow, I can do that. Hey, look, I have Namor. Namor is coming in at 110 or 75 points. I might be able to do that. Oh, I got a time gem. Okay, great. I can use it this way. Oh, here's Doctor Strange. He has a soul gem. All right. Oh, look, I got 2 aim whites, or I got an aim blue in Doctor Strange. Okay, great. So I'm going to have a Perplex, and I'm going to have a reroll because I have an aim blue. All right, that's great. Oh yeah, the aim guys. The aim blue also is really nice because he has leadership, and it's like, okay, this is useful. Like I'm literally looking at this, and I can think of team after team after team after team after team after team after team that I can make. And when I look at this set, I'm like, it's not there. You cared over here. You didn't care here. And it's obvious. It's obvious you didn't care. And that's the problem. That's what bugs me. When you can put this level of craftsmanship into one product and it's completely gone in the next, that concerns me. All right. That's it. You can follow me on Twitter at StartOverPod. It came from outer space and told me there is a wonderful planet named Golden World. And in Golden World, there's this drug called Soma. You take half a tablet, you feel great. You take a whole tablet, you go on an internal vacation. Take 3 tablets, you're out like a light until the next day. Take 4 more, your conscience fades away and you transcend. But are you anymore? Twitter doesn't know, but I definitely should not venture to find out. So you can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com if you wish to opine. Keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it awesome, baby. Let me know if I'm off. If you were just like, just email me like, yo, man, I listen to everything. And let me know if I'm off. If you're just thinking like this is just too much. You can donate to the show, startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com, and everything that you donate goes directly to making the show better. Thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing what my other commentators think, because I think this set is trash and you should buy single things. And that's it. They didn't try. So I don't think I should reward them and buying a bunch of product when they didn't try. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me know. And thank you for listening. Really do. I really mean it. One bright spot of playing and doing is doing this show. I don't say that I appreciate you, the listener, or that often, but I really do. Not necessarily in a you validate me for listening to me, but just having an audience that says like, you know what, I don't agree with everything this guy says, but occasionally he knocks it out of the park. So, all right. Thank you for listening, and remember,